Welcome to yet another episode of On VJ's playlist. And I cannot tell you how happy and excited I am because today I am joined by Nishant Nagar, aka Khwaab, and Divyam Sodhi, who have just released their latest romantic track, Aaya Mausam, right after You Zindagi Ki Raah Mein and Bahut Bechain, their last two collaborations. Or should I say, reimaginations of very popular ghazals. Welcome, guys. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having us here. Doing
Thank
very
you.
good.
I'm doing good. Yeah, you
I
tell
I
me.
am I'm pretty impressed, or rather I'm very intrigued by the backdrop that Divyam is sitting against. यार ये आपके पीछे है क्या? ये थोड़ा बताएंगे?
So, like, I used to do these Instagram lives in lockdown,
हाँ,
uh, because like it was a period जहाँ पर बहुत ही anxiety थी in COVID. It was
okay.
in around like second wave, and just to cool it off, I used to go live at night around like 9:30 or 10. So I like created this backdrop for it.
So is this like what? Is it an installation or you have hand painted or something?
No, no, it's like flex boards होते हैं जैसे.
जी.
It's like
Oh,
that. But
okay.
I like chose
Uh,
the images. There is one here, there is one to this side as well, which is like a window. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
very interesting. I mean, it gives a very hill station, very mountainous
Yeah.
holiday kind of a
Right.
vibe.
The cozy vibe. Yeah.
Very, very. So how are you been doing, all of you?
good.
Been
Working
doing
on
good. Yeah.
new music. This was the third one in the series of reimagining some popular tunes, and
Yeah.
yeah, very happy to have worked with Divyam once again. And for the first time, we worked on a music video for this, and
Oh
that was
yeah.
a great experience for us. Thankfully, we had a great team working on it, and yeah, it's been the responses have been good, so all going well right now. Very happy.
But I must say, as much as as much love the song is, receiving, there is so much of Instagram excitement about the music video, which I believe has been
Yeah,
shot by Bombay Wala. So, can you guys first
yeah.
Yeah.
give us a lowdown about how did this entire process come together in place? How did you guys reach out to Bombay Wala? How did this whole force of collaboration come together?
So I had known Kush, as in the Bombay wala. His name is Kush. Yeah, Kush. I had known Kush for a long time through Kirti, who was also shooting stills on the set of the music video, and she had introduced me to Kush. This was long back, I think in 2018 or 19 maybe. But yeah, ever since then, at that time I was just working on some of the songs that have now released, and I played some of my tunes to him, and ever since then we've just like been in touch on Instagram and all. It was this year I had come to Bombay for a very short period and I met him. So I told him that I'm releasing a new song, and if we can do something with it, then it will be great. And after that, it was just like within 5 days we had everything planned, and I don't know how
It was
everything
very
was just
good.
falling in place. Yeah, it was a very impromptu thing, I would say.
Yeah.
Divya, you would like to add to that?
Oh yeah. I just want to say that like to come till here, like from when Kush shot it, it was a
Here means where?
extremely long process.
Here means where? For our viewers who are watching who do not know, when you say here, where do you
Like
mean?
from when Kush shot it. So like when we talked to Kush, इससे पहले like we started working on the song when? Do you remember, Nishant? Audio
January.
पे.
January.
January में. So yeah, so it took
Hmm.
us a very long time. Like we got to some other people for the video first, but वो cancel हो गया. Then we were only
That's of course
releasing the
because of
audio.
but that's of course again because of the surge in cases around January because of Omicron, right? I'm sure that is what must have
January
led to
was
the
still
Yeah,
the audio. January was still the audio phase mostly,
yeah.
yeah.
as in we were
Mm-hmm.
working on the track. But
Yeah,
yeah, the plans of coming up with the video started very late. We had
Okay.
submitted the song for release also, like everything was there. But then after that, I just kept pushing the date week by week. कि अच्छा नहीं, let's push the
yeah.
release to this date. तब तक I think we'll be done with the video. But तब तक भी नहीं हुआ. फिर उसके बाद अच्छा थोड़ा सा और let's push more. I'm sure like the distributors and the other
Yeah,
people
they
would
got
have
like
been very
fed
happy.
up a bit.
Oh, so
Yeah.
are you saying when you finally decided to drop it, it was literally like it was just literally pushed out in the market? Is that what you're saying?
हाँ
Yeah,
बस
kind
ऐसे
of
ही
like
था
that.
ऐसे ही था
Oh,
हाँ
okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, let's talk about this
But it was
really
fun.
cute.
It was fun. The entire process of shooting was fun.
Of course, I can say. I mean, look at this extremely cute couple that you have as the center of attention in the music video.
Yeah.
Um, First of all, I really have to take the liberty of saying this to you guys. So when first Nishant sent me the details about the song on email, um, I saw the music video, I heard the song, I immediately responded to Nishant saying that um, I don't understand. I mean, I understand Punjabi. I cannot, I mean, I can pretty much comprehend it, but I won't be able to communicate that, in that language. But
Yeah.
when I saw these two elderly souls so in love, with each other after all these years, I was only reminded of my parents because even they have had a long marriage for over
Yeah,
four
yeah.
decades. And
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
when I saw this couple, that's exactly, I mean, I was reminded of my parents. And
Hmm.
that's exactly what I messaged Nishant and told him that, this is such a beautiful song. And
Yeah.
I just, since then, I've been only wishing for all the success and for all the love that it should receive. And it definitely has. So if you could just tell us about how did you decide to rope in this couple and who are these two?
Divyam will be able
So
to take
I
that.
think I think we were like sitting at Nishant's place. Me, Nishant, and Kirti,
Right.
and we were talking about coming up with an artwork for the audio of the song. वीडियो का कोई उस टाइम तक नहीं था ऐसा ख्याल
Ji.
and we were just looking at some ideas and we just thought about कि अगर कोई couple मिल सकता है if we can find someone because it's about love and the union
Hmm.
so I just said कि I have like these neighbors and we can like take them in if it's for the artwork and even that was very quick. I feel sometime after that we Nishant and Kirti came to Karnal and we took the artwork and वहां से ये अंकल आंटी का पूरा प्रोसेस शुरू हुआ था from the
Rule.
artwork which
Rule शुरू
also
हो गया
led
था.
to the video. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But how did you all ensure that, everything sits in place? Like, of course, giving instructions to, people of a certain age can
Yeah,
have
yeah.
its own fair share of challenges. So how did you all manage to, of course, people, when they watch chemistry on screen, they think it's easy.
Hmm.
It's an
Hmm.
easy feat, but of course it's not because especially when you're dealing with elderly people, there are certain things that
Definitely.
it has to
Right.
be in accordance with how they do it every day because
Hmm.
it has to be very organic, it has to be very
Hmm.
it's not something you can force. So
Hmm.
while shooting the music video, how did your direction and how did your if I may say, if I may use the word, how did you ensure that your execution was smooth throughout?
So, first of all, when we started shooting, I too was completely blown away by the amount of energy that these guys had, both of
Yeah.
them. And I'm sure it comes from like a place of pure love that they have for like Divyam, who they like consider him as their son only.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Because they've seen him grow like old.
Right.
They've been neighbors since the day he was born. So that creates a different feeling altogether, I feel, for them also.
So
So
like if you just go to them and tell them कि uncle auntie हमने ऐसे ऐसे वीडियो बनानी है like
hmm.
they don't even like think कि like क्या होगी video. They're just like yeah we can do it if it's for you, yeah for sure, let's do it.
Oh,
It's just
so
that.
sweet.
Yeah.
yeah, plus and also I feel like with Kush being on the set, he's one person who I feel like he was constantly talking to them, making them comfortable in front of the camera also. That also played a huge role.
Hmm.
And then definitely like even while shooting, we were aware of the fact that okay, now we've shot for 2 hours or 3 hours straight. Let's just
Yeah.
wait for an hour now, give them some time. And
Right.
because they also have a lot of things to do at their homes. Like you can't just take 2 days away from anyone from their lives and say कि अब हमें दे दो पूरा
Right.
सब कुछ.
Right.
So yeah, so yeah, I feel Kush playing that part in having a good communication with them, and the relation that they had with Divyam, and the energy that I don't know from where they get. That all of that played a huge role.
Well, this is about your cast, but what about, capturing the little, the aesthetics of, where this love story is situated in,
Hmm.
this is literally that this, countryside love story. This has all the
Yeah.
elements of it.
Yeah.
There's the Gaon ka Mela, there is, cotton
Hmm.
candy, and all these,
Hmm.
elements. So how did
Hmm.
you ensure all of that also fit into the narrative?
So for the Mela section, though, to be very honest, we reached one day before the day we had planned to start the shoot,
Yeah.
and we were just like roaming around in Karnal, all of us, the entire 6-7 people that were a part of the video, and we just saw the Mela. All of us just went in for fun. Ki, okay, we'll
Yeah.
sit on the, what do you call it, giant wheel?
The
We'll sit
Ferris
on the
wheel.
Ferris
giant
wheel.
wheel,
Yeah.
Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
We'll sit on the Ferris wheel and just have some fun. ठीक है. But on the way back from the Mela, and we had started discussing, okay, so मतलब we should figure out ways to incorporate this in the shoot, definitely.
Yeah.
So again, everything was like completely impromptu. Like nothing was properly planned. We just thought
And
of
like before the
going with the
Mela, I
flow.
think there was this another story that we were going with,
Yeah.
but Mela add होने के बाद वो that also changed just a night before
Hmm.
the shoot was
Yeah.
going to start.
So you're saying there was a
Hmm.
completely different narrative, a
Story that was
completely
planned.
different
Yeah.
story that was
Yeah.
planned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was planned.
So if
Yeah.
I may
Yeah.
ask, what was the initial story? Where was that supposed to be?
That you'll see when we release the next song. Now what was that story?
Oh, that very good. इधर ही teaser दे दिया आपने. Very nice. Divyam, a little bit about you. You've grown up in a
Yeah.
family of musicians. Ghazal has been your
Yeah.
primary, source of influence. So, if for
हाँ जी.
viewers are watching, if you could just give us a lowdown about how did you take to Ghazal, especially in a day and age as ours?
So like I think it has a lot to do with my family background of music. My granddad, my dad, even my great granddad was like associated with music a lot. And but mere dada and my father, they both do it professionally.
Okay.
Like they do shows and stuff. Yeah. And when I was a kid, to ghar pe they used to play like cassettes or like CDs of Nusrat Saab or maybe Ghulam Ali Saab. And I did not know what they were singing, but itna just I know ke like whatever they sing, it is liked by everyone. And it is some good stuff, whatever they're doing. And just because it was playing at my home throughout the day, और कुछ सुनने को मिलता ही नहीं था, वही सुनता था बस, क्योंकि और लगा ही रखते थे. हाँ, तो वहां से एक टेस्ट डेवलप हो गया कि लाइक दिस इज लाइक कूल थिंग्स, एंड आई स्टार्टेड learning those ghazals as well, like चुपके चुपके सबसे फेमस थी वो. That was my first ghazal that I learned उस time पे.
And you
And
just
उसके
decided to
बाद
take the
it's just
legacy
going
forward.
only. Yeah.
So, Nishant, this is very similar to the lines of the question I had once asked, Kavita Seth ma'am and her son Ganesh Seth when they did Rangi Sari. And I had asked them that, how do they manage to blend Sufi and electronica together and give us these compositions. So whenever you and Divyam collaborate, there's such a beautiful fusion of ghazal and your ambient electronica influences that you bring, Nishant. So how do you infuse these two different schools of music together?
I think it's a lot of it is just going by instinct, because like for me, if I get any melody to play around with, these are the kind of things that I'll be doing in any case, be it a ghazal or be it any other tune. But uh, again, like how Divyam has been brought up in ghazals, I have been brought up in some other music. As in, don't come from a family of musicians, but like I always had a very good listening environment at home. Like people, like my parents used to listen to good music only all the time. My sister also used to listen to good music. Uh, so yeah, it's somehow it's just ingrained in you, I feel. And whenever you sit on the on your setup, I think it is what naturally comes out mostly. So
Right.
again, like be it any tune, that is the kind of stuff that I'll do. Like even in other songs that I've released, it's always dominated a lot by ambient electronic elements. It's something that just comes to me. And I feel in fact I feel in this one the ambient electronic side of me took like sort of a backseat, because
Hmm.
Yeah.
obviously you have to go with what the song demands. And like the use of the mandolin and the tabla and dholak, arranging all of that came into the forefront, I feel. So it's just a part of like my musicality, I feel.
But what an impressive invention over there from your end also, because certainly it has. I'm sure this must have helped you somewhere explore certain potential in yourself that you did not know it kind of existed.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think I met, like, for the first time I spoke to Divyam was on Instagram only. This was back in I feel November, December 2020, probably before
Hmm.
we had
Yeah.
just thought of like working on Bahut Bechain. And ever since then, even I have been like listening to a lot of uh, music that is inclined towards the Indian side. It has a
Yeah.
lot of Indian aesthetic, but at the same time, I can't leave the part of me that listens to Tame Impala or something like that. So it just has to go hand in hand. And yeah, I feel like a lot of it has been good learning for me.
It's interesting you mentioned how you and Divyam came, collaborating with each other, because all three collaborations that you all have done together have been, in the course of the pandemic. Just with regards to that, my next question was, the pandemic, as much as in my belief, I'd like to always think that the pandemic in a way proved to be a boon for independent musicians. But when I look at it, nobody really knows the struggle that it takes for musicians to bring themselves, um just to have the will to create every day. So
Hmm.
when you work on three different tracks together, how did both of you constantly motivate and push each other? Because unfortunately, the pandemic was a very testing phase for artists in general, for a lot of creative professionals out there, writers and just creative professionals in general, where every day seemed very daunting. Every day seemed so uncertain that just to get up and show show up every day was
Yeah,
such a task. So how did you both of you ensure that you were constantly feeding energies of each other?
I feel for me, I would say just the idea of working on a song with the Divyam, and like the kind of music that we were planning to do was in itself motivation for me to
Hmm.
like just
Right.
sit on my setup and give some time to it, give it some thought. Obviously, if you look at it, like we've released 3 songs over 1 year. It's
Yeah.
not a huge number, but so we've given space as well to the releases, because it obviously there are
Hmm.
other commitments and it's not possible for you to always work on this project that you're working on. But yeah, I feel for me it was the new style of music that I was exploring. That in itself was a lot of motivation for me at that time. And obviously I know, like especially during the second wave, uh, that was the time which was like mentally it was a testing period for, I feel,
Yeah.
the entire nation, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Divya?
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing that Nishant said. Okay, like, just knowing that a song is being made and we're both doing it doesn't make you feel के कि अबे यार की करते हैं or like something. You just do it. You are like
Yeah,
excited about it. Okay, a song is being made and I love it as well. And because every time like we selected a song, it was loved by both of us. Like
right.
बहुत बेचैन, यूं जिंदगी की राह, आया मौसम. तो वो एक म्यूचुअल एक्साइटमेंट तीनों में ही थी. इससे तो बढ़िया तरीके से हो गया.
और क्या खूबसूरत तरीके से हो गया. I mean, Nishant is kind of I mean, he just kind of pointed it out that, it must have been very less in number, the amount of work that you all have put out in 1 year. But I think the fact that it's qualitative work and, all
Yeah.
three songs have resonated with people who have, heard these
Right,
tracks.
right.
I think that speaks hugely about this. So Nishant and Divyam, if, because the pandemic gave so many of us a time to introspect and, a lot of time to discover, newer passions, newer artists, newer music and books and films. If I may ask you guys, who are, some of the best Indian independent talents that you both have heard in this period? And, who you love listening to, whose music you've started following?
From the independent scene,
Yeah,
you're saying?
our Indian independent scene. Yeah.
For me, I though discovered, in fact, when I started releasing music, I discovered a lot of independent music because I think that is really when you get more into it, I feel.
Yeah.
So I really like Bombay Banduk is one band
Yeah.
that I listen to a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
And Kanishk is definitely one artist that I listen to a lot. He's a friend of mine as well. And काफी सारे हैं तो सोचना पड़ेगा बट हाँ
So
कनिष्क
few.
एंड
शायद
बॉम्बे
Divyam,
बंदूक डेफिनेटली
Divyam
Yeah,
तब तक आंसर कर देंगे.
yeah. I think Pandit ji as well.
सिद्धार्थ पंडित
Um,
also
Pandit
हाँ
ji, yes.
डेफिनेटली
Siddharth Pandit. Yeah,
डेफिनेटली
and his music is like too good. Kanishk as well. Nishan just said it. Yeah, these both I listen to as well.
So Kanish can surely beam from year to year right now, because to both
Yeah,
of you have just chosen him.
yeah Kanishk and yeah, Siddharth Pandit definitely like to I've heard his Siddharth's album. I've heard I don't know how many times now, both of them
yeah.
Azad. Yeah.
Azad Sangeet. Yeah,
And even there was one song that Kanishk released during the middle of the pandemic that was Thera.
Thera.
It was a very slow, soft song. That was one song. I don't know how many times I've told him that that's probably my favorite song of his.
वही ना that you made me
Uh,
listen to it as well.
Hmm.
This this whole album of his that he has just released, his whole EP that he released this year
Surmai. Yeah.
with Surmai,
Yeah.
Sacha
Yeah.
Sahib is
Yeah,
fabulous.
Sacha Sahib, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Lastly, Divyam and Nishant, to conclude this interview, I just want to ask, how hopeful are you about, things looking really bright for the Indian independent music scene? Because sync has become the huge deal right now. There is so much of, synergies being exchanged. Suddenly now Indian independent music is really pushing its envelope. It's really, pushing its boundaries. There's so much of discoverability happening. It's, it's going mainstream now. I mean, I clearly you can say the lines are blurring. So how hopeful are you about your prospects?
I think this is something that I'm definitely looking forward to because now it's like there is a lot more motivation to put out your music as well.
Yeah.
If you keep if you're constantly putting out original content, I feel it has a place now to go somewhere and where it can reach out to a lot more people than what it did earlier. So things are definitely looking very bright, and yeah, I am definitely excited about it. And it's although the story remains the same for me, you just
Yeah.
have to keep on putting out new music. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Divyam, you would like to add to that?
Yeah, I wanted to say the same thing only. Like, I just feel to just just keep making it and keep putting out things out there, and baki, will just follow. Just keep
Yeah.
doing your thing. Just keep making music.
Absolutely. Like Wiseman rightly said,
Yeah.
onwards and upwards. Divyam, Nishant, thank you so much for talking to me on VJ's playlist. And I wish you
Thank
guys
you
the
so
very
much for
best.
having us.
Thank you. It was really good. Thank you. Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you so
Well,
much for
I
being
am
here.
so happy. I've like this is the second time I am having this conversation with you. But you are one person who's like constantly pushing independent music in the right direction, and you're constantly at it. And there are not a lot of people who are doing it. So a lot more power to you also. Thank you
Thank
for
you. Thank
having
you so
us.
much. Thank you. And always, yeah. I mean, I'm always yours for new music. I'm always yours for new stories. And this is such an honor for me always. Thank you so much.